Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we decided to go the rebuilding route, so we offloaded guys like Kyle Connor, we offloaded guys like Roy, we offloaded Barabanov, we offloaded even Lowry, and somehow this team managed to do much better without those four guys. As you can see, in our last 10 games, 9-0-1, and we have made it to the playoffs after we decided to go rebuild route, which is really weird. So I honestly have no idea what's in store for this team in the postseason. I feel like we're probably going to end up getting swept just because of the fact we probably shouldn't have made the playoffs, but we did. But honestly, who knows? Maybe we're a cheese team that we could go very, very far. But you can see basically at the trade deadline right here, we end up winning mostly every single game down the stretch of the season. We did have one loss here against Toronto, a couple OT losses like this one against LA. But then you can see that we won almost every other game up until the end of it. We were on a torrential pace. I wish I kind of actually figured out how much we were. I could actually throw that up on the screen, I guess, now, if I actually do decide to do the math. But I'm pretty sure we only lost these two games. So, or actually these 3 games after the deadline. So, I think basically our record, I don't know how much games we played down the last little bit. Maybe it was 18 games. So we could have probably went, my guess, 15-2-1 or 15-1-2 down the stretch if it was 18 games. I can't remember exactly, but regardless, this team went on a crazy pace without Kyle Connor, and we somehow made the playoffs. But the thing is, we're going to be taking on a very tough Dallas Stars team, so I feel like we're definitely due to get swept. But we do obviously have the experience of winning the Stanley Cup last season. So who honestly knows? Maybe we can win another Stanley Cup. But you can see this Dallas team, very good on paper, very good depth, very good fourth line. They also have a very solid defensive core still with Heiskanen. They have former defenseman Neil Pionk. Goaltending wise is great with Jake Ottinger. So this Dallas team is primed to win a Stanley Cup. So I wouldn't be surprised if we lose and they somehow go on to win the Stanley Cup. But anyways, let's get into your guys' comments before we get into this first round matchup and see if we could pull off the upset, even though we are the home ice team. So the first 2 comments are from Dylan Burrows. The first one says, Misa was insane in my franchise. Hopefully he is just as good. And yeah, I totally agree. I hope that he's a really good player because we brought him in the Kyle Connor trade. We actually got a lot of good return for Kyle Connor because we decided to go the rebuilding route. So we got Michael Misa, who's the main thing coming back. Him and Perfetti down the middle sounds like a really good combination. We also did get, I think there was another prospect, if I remember right. I can't remember who it was, though. Trying to remember. Was it somebody unsigned? No, it wasn't somebody unsigned. Maybe it was this Alexandrov guy. No, maybe not. I can't remember who it was. No, it wasn't him. I think we got another prospect anyways, and we also got a first-round pick from the LA Kings. So we do have assets that we'll be able to potentially move around in the draft, which is exciting. Obviously, I do want to try and ship out Scheifele, Hedman, those type of guys this offseason, considering we're trying to, not go full nuclear to an extent, but kind of rebuild and keep the younger guys on our team. Also, Dylan says, I haven't finished the episode, but I'd say try and grab a top goalie prospect. So I don't know if you end up finishing the episode, but yeah, we end up making the playoffs. So that comment will basically be considered into next episode when we actually get to the draft and all that type of thing. I guess he expected us not to make the playoffs, which I didn't either, to be honest. The next comment is from Souls, who says, I took Hellenius in one of my recent drafted glory franchises. It was a bad draft, and I really reached for him. I was drafting 3rd, and I think he was ranked around 17th, but he turned out to be a pretty good player for me. Hope he succeeds in Winnipeg. And yeah, I'm very excited for Hellenius. Hellenius was who we got straight up for Barabanov, I think it was, or maybe we gave a little bit more. But yeah, Hellenius is in our lineup. He didn't really do much in our lineup, but still, this guy is a future top 6 player for us. And I've seen him develop really well in franchise mode as well. I think it was in my drafted glory. I've seen him up there in points. So I'm hoping he could do that for us. So yeah, that was a very solid addition for our team. So we got quite a bit of good young players now. We have Hellenius, like I said. We obviously have still Perfetti in our lineup. We have Lucius in the system. We have Misa. We have Stankoven, Lambert. So we're starting to build together quite a good foundation of players. And then the last and final comment is from Saturn Taku. Says, not only did you make the playoffs, you did so as a 2nd in the division, where your leading scorer after Kyle Connor's trade was under point per game. Wild. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that literally we're able to still make the playoffs without Kyle Connor because he was doing a lot of offense for us, but everybody on our team was under point per game. So I guess we were just good goaltending wise, and that's what helped us get into the playoffs. But on paper, I don't know how this team made it, but I am here for it. We'll see what ends up happening. Chinnikov, I think, had a really good step up in this season, so maybe that helped out a lot. But yeah, this team is definitely a lot worse than it was, but we had good goaltending numbers from both of our goalies. So let's see what happens in the playoffs. See if we're able to somehow get to that second round and maybe win ourselves another Stanley Cup this year. But I honestly think we're going to get a first round exit because Dallas is a very good looking team. As we mentioned, like Jason Robertson's probably going to tear us apart. But anyways, let's get into game number 1. We have home ice advantage. Let's see if we could take a 1-0 series lead here. Maybe we could get some offense from some of the younger guys on our team. Like maybe Hellenius could score against the team that actually drafted him because he was already dealt from Dallas to LA, it seems like. So let's see what happens. Game number 1 on home ice in Winnipeg. First period. 1-1. I'll take it. Seguin opens the scoring in the series on the power play goal, but a short-handed goal with 1:21 left from Cole Perfetti. That's a nice goal from the youngster. We are being heavily outshot though, 15-4, which is outrageous. So we definitely need to play a little bit better in the second period. Hellebuck's right now really locked in. We obviously need him to keep playing like that, or else we're probably going to get outscored really badly in the second period. Second period, 2-2. I'll take it still. Seguin scores again in the same type of area, it seems like, our same time period. And Chinnikov scores to make it a 2-2 game. Shots are now actually pretty close, 21-17 in favor of Dallas. Can we find a way to take the lead? We have not had the lead yet in this game 1. Come on, boys. Let's get that next one. This is going to be a battle of the goaltenders, I feel like, because Ottinger's really good too. Hellebuck's really good still. But obviously, we're going to probably look to ship like Hellebuck this offseason just because we're going to probably go a little bit nuclear with this team, except for the young guys. So, and we're going to overtime in game number 1 with the shots 30-27 in favor of us. So after that first period, we seem to have dictated the flow quite a bit. But like I said, Ottinger's a great goaltender, so he was able to keep his team in the game pretty much. Can we get that OT winner and take game 1? Come on, boys. Let's get that next one. Oh, yes, we do. I don't know who I was going to call upon, but it's Matthias Michelli, my favorite player from the Arizona Coyotes right now, IRL. But he gets the game-winning goal. So what an addition Michelli was. On the 34th shot, we finally get the lead, and it's the game-winning goal. So we have a 1-0 lead in this first round. So, Perfetti from Hague and Vesey. It's weird because Jimmy Vesey's in our lineup right now, but yet we're still winning games. Chinnikov from Perfetti and Michelli from Morrissey. What am I saying? Morrissey and Velarde. I'm a little bit scrambled to start this morning, but it is what it is. So, first star of the game, Cole Perfetti. Hellebuck the second star, and Seguin the third. Seguin scored both their goals, so they're going to need to get more of a balanced offensive approach if they want to beat us, because we kind of had multiple lines show up in that game, I think. But that's a good first game. I wasn't expecting us to take at least a game against them. I thought we were going to easily get swept, but who knows? Maybe we could just lose 4 straight here and then losing 5 instead. But let's keep it rolling. 1-0 series. Let's see if we could take a 2-0 series, because if we could take both home games and then 1 on the road, we'll be in a great spot. Game number 2, still on home ice. Let's see if we can contain Dallas again like last game. First period. 1-1 again. Now, this is a very even series. They always score first, it seems like, though. Nyquist scores, and Consta Hellenius has the goal. I don't know if it's actually pronounced Hellenius or Hellenus. Let me know, Finnish people, because I think it's like Hellenus, but I always referred to, there was a guy that used to play in the NHL named Sami Hellenius. So I don't know if it was pronounced Hellenius or Hellenus. But anyway, shots are 11-9 for us after 1, so we're outplaying them. But once again, we got an even game with them scoring first. Is it going to be the same type of thing as last game? Let's see. Second period. 3-1 Dallas. There's the offense for Dallas. Seguin scores again. Matt Duchene as well. Sagan's definitely been the best player in the series with the 3 goals in these 2 games. Not an ideal period for Connor Hellebuck, but it is what it is. Can we find a way to get back into this game in the third? Or are we going to have a tied series headed to Dallas? David Gustafsson scores a pulse within 1, but Robertson answers right back, which is not ideal. Power play for us. It's a long power play, please, boys. And we do not score on it. Penalty kill. 5-on-3. Penalty kill. Yarncroke scores. Yeah, this is not an ideal game. And Dadonov scores as well to make it 6-2. Yeah, that was a very bad game by comparison to the first game. I'm glad at least we did win 1 game, but now that the series shifts to Dallas, we got to find a way to win in their building, because if we don't, we're in a bad spot. So not an ideal game number 2, but it is what it is. Like I said, I didn't expect to make the playoffs this year with this team, but we did. So Hellenius from VC and Gustafsson from VC and Morrissey. I think VC is leading our team in points right now here in this first round. He's got like 3 points, which is kind of stupid because he's not even an NHL player almost at this stage. Like, he's like a minor scoring forward, I think. We're going to make some line adjustments after that game because the offense wasn't there like it was in Game 1. The defense wasn't there like it was in Game 1. We need to make some adjustments. Yeah, VC's leading us in points with 3 assists in 2 games. The weirdest thing I think I've ever seen, considering he's not really that good of a player. Let's readjust our lineup and see what we got. Do we have anybody scratched I want in? Khrushchev might be better to put in over somebody, but VC's been our best players, so maybe I want to just keep our same forwards in. We are going to put the youngster Hellenius on the 4th line because he's a lower overall, and we will put Fisher up on the 3rd line. We are also going to just... Yeah, Chinnikov has the 1 goal, but he is -2. Let's put Perfetti down the middle, put Scheifele on the 2nd line. Move Michelli to the top line with Chinnikov in him, like a nice young top line. And in the 2nd line, Lucius could play with Scheifele and Velarde. And hopefully that gets Lucius a good amount of goals or something. And we'll probably keep the bottom 6 the same. Defensively, we will flip-flop Heinola and Haig. And we'll see if that ends up doing anything. Hellebuck obviously will still be the goaltender, but we could turn to... one Lucas Dostal if we want to put in a future goalie, because we did sign him in last offseason, I guess it was. But yeah, let's see if we could get some wins here in Dallas, because if we don't, like I said, we're in a bad spot. If we could get at least 1 win, we're at least having a tie series headed back home, which would be a better scenario than being down 3-1. So let's move my face back over here before I forget. Let's get into Game 3 and see if we could take a 2-1 series lead. First period of Game 3. It is scoreless. I'll take it. Dead even in shots, dead even in goals. That's a much better period than that second period, obviously, in last game and third period. We need to just be able to maintain this in the second period and also find a way to score a goal on Ottinger, because Ottinger is kind of a bit locked in here over these first 2 games, so it would be nice to start scoring more rapidly on him, but he is a great goaltender, so it makes a lot of sense that we're not scoring on him. Can we get the lead in the second period? Second period? 2-2. I'll take that too. They were up 2-0. Robertson and Hintz. But Chaz Lucius and Mark Scheifele score. So the second line getting some goals. Shots are once again dead even after 2. So this is a very even game. The shots were even in the first period and in the second period. The goals were even. It's anybody's game in the third period. Let's hope that is for us. Let's see if we can get that lead. We have not had the lead yet in this game. They were up 2-0. But we managed to come back. Power play opportunity in the third period. And we do get a power play goal from none other than David Gustafsson. I don't know why he's doing so well as well. Like, him and VC have all been really good. It's really weird that our team is doing this well. And final few minutes. We're going to hold them off and we win 3-2. So another close game for our win. But we managed to hold them off. Final shots 35-34 in favor of Dallas. But we do take ourselves a 2-1 series lead, so at least we do get that 1 road win, which is crucial in terms of winning the series. So we're down 2-0 with 2 goals early into the second period, but Lucius is first from Scheifele and Velarde, then Scheifele from Haig and Heinola, and finally the game-winning goal, Gustafsson from Fisher and Michelli, the former Yotes, picking up some assists. 3 stars of the game, Connor Hellebuck with a nice .942 save percentage, Hintz the 2nd star, and Robertson the 3rd. Pretty good game for the team. We are somehow able to actually kind of go up against a very strong team like Dallas and do relatively well. Obviously, Game 2 was definitely like one of those outlier games where we didn't play good, but hopefully we could find a little bit more consistency in our game, because Game 1 and 3, very good defense. Offense is kind of average, but still, the good defensive effort is always what we want. Okay, let's keep the team the same since we have the series lead. Can we take a 3-1 series lead headed home, or will we have a tie series and it would be a best of 3 at that point? Come on, boys. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. If they don't score more than 2 goals, we're in business. First period. It is 1-0 Dallas, and it's Sagan again. I need to move my head over. Sorry about that again. But shots are 10-9. We're down by 1 because Tyler Seguin has been completely rejuvenated in this playoff so far. He's scoring almost every single game up to this point. Can we have an answer for them in the second period? Come on, boys. Second period. It is 1-1. Let's go. Cole Perfetti scores again. That's his second goal of the playoffs. We're being outshot 31-16 after 2 periods. So without Hellebuck, we would definitely be getting completely slapped in this game. But Hellebuck has been absolutely locked in. 30 saves through 2 periods. Does he have another good period in him? And can our offense find a way to beat Jake Ottinger? Come on, boys. Let's get that number 2. Let's get that number 2. Who wants to be the guy? Penalty kill in this third period. We kill it off. Nicely done. Final 10 minutes of this third period. Still deadlocked at 1. Are we going to another overtime scenario potentially here? Aw, Seguin scores a late goal. I feel bad for Hellebuck in this one. And they get a third one right there from Jason Robertson on the empty net. And we lose 3-1. Jake Ottinger was good in that game. He didn't have to face a lot of shots, though, but Connor Hellebuck kept us in that game the entire time. We didn't really deserve to be in that game that long, but Hellebuck was so good. But unfortunately, we're going to have a tie series headed back home, so this might be a 7-game series at this rate. So Perfetti from Michelli and Morrissey is our only goal. Definitely got to find a way to get our offense being better. But yeah, Hellebuck first star of the game in that loss, Seguin the second star, and Ottinger the third. Tyler Seguin's definitely been their best player. If we could find a way to shut him down, we might have a better chance at winning the series. But yeah, I'm not really sold on our offensive play in this series so far up to this point. Because you could see 3 goals for, 2 goals for, 3 goals for, 1 goal for. So technically, we have 9 goals in 4 games, I think. Which is not outrageously good. So let's go to edit lines. Sorry if my throat just made a weird noise. I don't know if it's just because I just ate recently. But let's readjust our lines again a little bit. See if we can figure anything out here. Let's go to Velarde on the top line. Michelli on the second line. And go back to Lucius, I guess, on the second. On the right side instead. Any badly minus players? Ooh, that fourth line's not looking too good. I'm going to take Kupari out of the lineup. He's been minus. Let's give Khrushchev an opportunity. Why not? Why not? And we'll go back to Haig up and Heinola down. Yep, let's keep the rest of this the same. And hopefully Khrushchev can bring some offense to his team. Because, like I said, I think that's our main problem right now. We've been playing good defensively for most of these games except for that 6-goal game. So we just need to find our offensive game a bit more consistently. But here we go. Crucial game number 5. Whoever wins this will be 1 win away from knocking out the other team. Obviously, if we win this game, we have a chance to close out the series in Dallas. But if Dallas wins this game, they have a chance to win on home ice, which is pretty scary. So here we go. Game 5. Let's get it done, boys. And let's hope Khrushchev could impact his team a little bit. First period of game number 5. 1-0 Dallas, and it's Jason Robertson. Their top guys have been doing really well, so that's also a bit of a problem as we haven't been able to contain their top guys. We've been able to contain our bottom 6, but when it comes to like Robertson, Seguin, it's been a very tough time for our team. Shots are 11-11, so pretty even first period. Hopefully Hellebuck could have another good second period, and hopefully our team can find a way to score more goals, because like I said, that's been a major problem. Second period. Still 1-0 Dallas. We're out shooting him now 25-18. So Ottinger is locked in, which is not something we want to see. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the third period? Come on, boys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Who wants to be that guy to tie it up? Aw, Seguin again. Jeez, man. Velarde pulls us within 1 immediately, which is huge. But yeah, Tyler Seguin has been unstoppable in the series. Didn't realize he was that good of a player still. In real life, I feel like he's dropped off a good amount, but I don't know his point totals. Final few minutes, please, boys. Let's tie it up. And no, we are not. We lose 2-1, and we've only got 2 goals in our last 2 games. And Dallas is 1 win away from knocking us out in the first round, as I kind of expected. We got to find a way to win in Dallas if we want to extend the series. Our only goal, Velarde from Chinnikov and Morrissey. And yeah, Tyler Seguin's up to 6 goals in the series. Robertson up to 4. If we were able to contain their top guys, we would definitely be in a better situation, but we are not at the moment. Both goalies have been really good in the series, though. That's one positive. but the offensive level from us hasn't been consistent enough. Dallas hasn't been scoring that much either, though, to be honest, except for that one game. So it has been mostly about the goaltenders at this rate, because mostly every game has been like a 1-goal game, except for that 6-2 game. Because here, this 3-1 game was an empty net goal that made it 3-1. So basically every game has been a 1-goal game except for this one. So our offense hasn't been good, but theirs hasn't been either. So if we could find a way to have Hellebuyck having a great game and our offense step up, that would go a long way in terms of maybe changing the complexion of this first round. So let's readjust our lines again. I know we've been doing it a lot so far in this first round, but we got to find something that works. Let's go back to Scheifele on the top line, considering this could be his last game as a Jet if we decide to flip him this offseason. We'll go to Lucius on the top line, Chinnikov and Perfetti, Michelli on the second line. Let's try something completely weird like Hellenius on the second line actually instead. We'll put Michelli on the third line, and then VC could go to fourth line with Fialbi and with Khrushchev. Defensively, I think we just got to keep it the same. There's not really much we could do about it. Unless we want to split up Hedman and stuff, which usually does a minus, which is not great. Hedman's dropping off a lot, which is not great. So we are going to probably have to look to flip him this offseason at a draft. So, let's see. Can we force a Game 7 back on home ice, or are we going to be packing our bags in 6 games? I was thinking it was going to be a sweep for Dallas, but at least we've been able to win some games here. Good learning experience for some of the younger guys that weren't with the team last year, like Lucius, for example. Let's see. Can we force a Game 7? So, real-time simulation. Let me move my face again. Let's see what happens here in Game 6. We're in Dallas. We got to find a way to win on the road. Come on, boys. Who wants to open that scoring? It's Mark Scheifele. Let's go on the power play. That's a good way to start it off. Like I said, our offense hasn't been good the last 2 games. We've only scored 2 goals in them combined. So if we could find a way to score more goals than that, we might be in business. And it's going to be 1-0 for us after 1. So we still only have like 3 goals in our last 7 periods of hockey, which is not very good, but it is what it is. Maybe we just need Hellebuyck to lock down this game. Maybe we don't need our offense. We'll see. But I think we definitely need our offense to give us some more goals. But Dallas hasn't been able to score a lot either. Penalty kill. Nicely done, boys. We need some insurance in. Dadonov ties it up at 1 apiece. That's not ideal. That's not ideal. Penalty kill. Please. Nicely done. Final few minutes of the second period. And of course, it's the former Jet Neil Pionk who hadn't scored in the series. Of course, he has to score in a big game. And once again, our offense is just not doing enough. Like I said, we've only now have like 3 goals in our last 8 periods of hockey. Can we get a second goal, or are we going to be eliminated in 6 games by the Dallas Stars? And likely, I feel like Dallas could go on to win the Stanley Cup at this point. But come on, boys. Don't let Neil Pionk's goal be the game-winning goal. There we go. Thank you, Jimmy Vesey, of all people. What a playoff player he's been. 2-2 game. Final few minutes of this third period of Game 6. Are we going to an overtime scenario? Yes, we are. Normally, I would jump in this situation, but I would rather do it if we have the chance to close out a series, not where Dallas has a chance to close out the series. So, yeah, let's hop into this and see what ends up happening. Shots are 35-34. It's an even game. Can we extend the series and go to a Game 7? And can Jimmy Vesey maybe be that guy? Because I feel like he's been a very good player for us so far here in this postseason, which is really weird. Come on, boys. Penalty kill in overtime. We kill it off. Power play for us. We do not score. And then they scored right afterwards. And we are eliminated in round 1. It was a power play goal, apparently. Gustav Nyquist. Damn, man. That sucks. That sucks. Our offense couldn't get it done. And like I said, a lot of those losses were only by 1 goal. So we were right there the entire series, even though our offense wasn't that good. But we are out in round 1 as I kind of expected after our torrential pace near the end of the season. Kind of wish we didn't make the playoffs now at this rate, but is what it is. So Scheifele from Morrissey and Chinnikov, and Vesey from Khrushchev and Morrissey. So Khrushchev picked up a point in his second game. But yeah, Jake Ottinger was really good. Really, really good. Without Jake Ottinger, who knows, maybe Dallas wouldn't have done as well. But let's take a look at our player stats from this first round. And we'll take also a look at Dallas' stats, because I feel like they didn't really have much offense going for them either, which is kind of weird considering they're a very good offensive team. But you can see, yeah, we definitely had a point problem. because Gustafsson was our leading point man for centers with 3 points. He had as much points as Mark Scheifele, so I think Scheifele's time here should be done. Perfetti had the exact same stat line as well. Velarde had 3 points. Lucius only had the 1 goal. Khrushchev had an assist in 2 games. And yeah, Kupari was very abysmal. VC was pretty good, 4 points in 6 games. Michelli on 3 points is not bad. Fialbi had nothing. Chinnikov was solid as well, 3 points. Hellenius 1 goal. And Fisher 1 assist. So, from a forward core standpoint, everybody was under point per game. Nobody had more than 2 goals in that series. So that's not a great thing. But almost everybody on the forward core did have a goal, except for 4 guys. So the depth scoring was good in a sense, but we weren't scoring enough. Like, we were getting a lot of lines clicking, but we weren't getting enough from every single player. Defensively, Josh Morrissey was great, 6 assists in 6 games. He was our best player. And then Nick Hague, 2 assists in 6 games is the next closest. -4 is not good, though. Heinola only the 1 assist. Rookie Christian Kairu was a -5 in 6 games, which is not ideal. Hopefully he's better in the future years. Chisholm, not too good. Was only a -1, though, and Victor Hedman was even 0. So, needed Hedman to pick up a bit more offense as well from the back end, but he didn't do that. And yeah, see, Hellebuck played pretty good, a .919 save percentage, but the team just could not get it done. If we go to Dallas, I'm pretty sure their offense isn't that great either. Yeah, because you got like Sagan and Robertson who were good, also Dadonov, Yarncroke. Like, you definitely got better depth scoring with their team, but you also have a bunch of guys that didn't really score that much goals. Like, most of their goals, 10 of their goals came from 2 guys. And I had, what is that, 4 + 3, 7 from the other 5 guys that scored. And all these guys here didn't score a single goal. Defensively, they did get 1 goal from the blue line as well from Neil Pionk. He was their best defenseman, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And yeah, Jake Ottinger was completely locked in. Nothing we could really do about that. .940 save percentage. So there is that. Let's simulate up to the awards and find out stuff with the draft. LA also got knocked out in the first round, which is huge for us because that's where Kyle Connor went. So we will probably have 2 earlier picks in a sense, like 22nd or 20th or something in the draft, I think. We'll probably end up trying to use both of them maybe to flip up, or we could end up trading away like some of those picks for next year's draft instead and hope that they'll be a little bit higher up. But hopefully this draft class could give us some more good prospects. And like I said, we'll probably end up looking to ship out Scheifele, Hellebuck, that type of thing this offseason. Boston's fired their head coach, and his name was Guillermo, so that's kind of cool. And Dallas does go on to win the Stanley Cup, so I did predict it. Dallas is your Stanley Cup champion, so at least we lost to the best team in the league, and Toronto wins the Calder Cup. Let's take a look at those award winners. Actually, let me go to Dallas's stats, as I am curious on how good Dallas finished off the playoffs. Did their offense get better? Not fully, but yeah, Robertson and Hintz were really good. Sagan just completely fell off, it seems like, a little bit after playing against us. Like, he didn't score as much goals. Defensively, Neil Pionk was great for them. That kind of sucks. Good to see Neil Pionk win a Stanley Cup again. I don't know if he won a cup with us or not. I don't remember. Ottinger was, though, really, really good, and that was probably the difference maker. I don't know who they beat in the Cup Finals. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. Who did they win against? The New York Rangers in 7 games. So after they beat us, they took out Colorado, another great team, 6 games. Then they swept Vegas in the Conference Finals, and then they took out the Rangers in 7. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at those award winners. So Dallas, the Stanley Cup champions. Colorado, the President's Trophy winners. And Dallas in the Rangers Cup Finals. McDavid, the Art Ross, and the Hart. McCarr, the Norris. Goudreau, the Lady Bing. Sokolov wins the Calder. That's kind of cool. Rupe Hintz wins the Conn Smythe. I would have given it to Jake Ottinger personally because he was really locked in. Logan Thompson, the Vezina winner. And the Jennings winner. Pollock wins the Masterton. Howden for LA wins the Jack Adams. Bedard wins the Selke. Interesting. McDavid, the Lindsay, and also the Richard. In terms of the AHL, any awards for our AHL players? Probably not, right? No. So there is the awards. Now let's simulate up to the draft lottery results and all that stuff. Not that we have a draft lottery pick, but I still want to know anyways. St. Louis moves from 5-1. Nashville moves from 12-2. Jeez. Calgary falls from 1-3. Chicago falls from 2-4. And Buffalo falls from 3-5. Damn. Okay. Any big retirements this season? Blake Wheeler, former Jet, not in our series, but still. Corey Perry retiring. This is very circumstantial because of the stuff that came out recently. Or, well, it hasn't fully came out what stuff happened, but the fact that he got, like, waived by Chicago and his contract terminated, is kind of funny seeing him retiring this game. So there is the retirements. Goalie-wise, the best is Jaro Halak. So not a huge retirement class for goaltenders, but there's that. Thornton, wow, he's now a coach for Boston. He was playing in Boston. I didn't even realize that, but that's actually cool. He could be a head coach for the Boston Bruins. I bet Tugi would love to see that. Eric Stahl, Florida, and Mark Giordano, they're all coaches. That's cool. Halak and Jack Johnson are now scouts. Love to see it. Did we lose any coaches on our team? None in Manitoba. Did we lose any in Winnipeg? No. Perfect. Okay. I don't know if I'll do any draft interviews right now. I don't think I will do any draft interviews, but as I honestly don't even know where we're picking in this year's draft, but we might try and move up in the draft depending if there's something interesting, or we could end up trading away some of our picks to get good prospects, something like that, but I won't even look at this yet. I want to look at the draft class on its own rate. I'm not going to do interviews because it's not pointless, but it also doesn't really help much, I find. Let's see this draft class. So what picks do we have first and foremost, actually, because I don't know. I know we have more picks this year than we did last year. So we have 22nd and 23rd in the first round. We have our second round pick still, and then we have a 5th, 6th, and 2 7th. So we don't have a 3rd or 4th, but these 2 first round picks are pretty nice, and that second rounder. After that, we probably won't get much in terms of good prospects, but that's kind of nice having 2 first rounders this year because of that Kyle Connor trade. So let's take a look. We're at 22nd and 23rd. What is projected to go around that point? Right here, I guess. This is looking like a top 6 D-man, which is not great. Top 9 4, that's a grinder. Yeah, this is not a good-looking class. Yeah, ooh, this guy's kind of intriguing. Might be a top 6. I'll pin him. Groshek is a gem. Might be a low late. Maybe not. Medium top 6. And Rafalski looks really good. This guy might honestly be one of our picks. 2 years out, top 6 forward at 18. And he's supposed to be a playmaker. Yeah, that might be a great pick. And he's from Croatia, which is kind of cool. I think that's Croatia. If I'm butchering that, I apologize. Renta looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that Croatian is going to be probably one of our picks if we decide to hold on to both of them. This guy might be intriguing too, but he is 19. But still, he looks kind of intriguing a bit. Let's start by potential, I guess. Is there any medium elites or low elites supposed to go in later drafts? There's a goalie prospect. You guys did say we need a goalie prospect. Logan Scarlett. He could be a 2nd round pick because we don't have a 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Our 3rd, yeah, 3rd or 4th, I think it is. Or maybe it's a 5th as well. We don't have, but yeah, we don't have a lot of mid-round picks. So taking him in the 2nd round might be a smart move. Or we could try and acquire a pick when we make trades with Scheifele to get these guys drafted. There's also this guy who's 4 years out. Might be medium elite. No weakness. He's supposed to go even earlier. So there is some intriguing goalies, which is a good thing for us because we need to find the successor for Connor Hellebuyck. Is there any low elites? Let's see. Hopefully there is at least one. Yes, there's at least one here in Craig Carlton. He's another guy supposed to go around 3rd round. His only strength is his reach, which is kind of funny. But still, he's a low elite, so we'll pin him. And then we don't have any other guaranteed low elites. Yeah, this draft class isn't the best on paper, but it is what it is. Hopefully we get some good ones while we're through rebuild. But let's take a look at progress reports and contract situation, and then that'll be it for this episode. So we are getting some drop off from our older guys. Victor Hedman's dropped off a lot. He's now in exact top 4, so I think we definitely got to look at trading him at the deadline, or not at the deadline, at the draft. if we want to start going into that rebuild territory more so. Morrissey might have a little bit. No, it's statistical growth. It's not drop off yet. Chinnikov got statistical growth, it looks like, which is nice. Lucius also getting some. Kupari, is that natural? No, statistical drop off. Michael Misa, though, he should probably be NHL bound next season, which is really exciting. What else we got here? Stankoven growing a little bit. He's probably going to jump up. Cairo's getting growth. Hellebuck's dropping off. We got to definitely take advantage of moving him while we have the opportunity to. So there's that. What about in the system? Yeah, Aiden Irving is an exciting one. He could easily jump to our NHL lineup next season as well. So excited for that, because he's a 77 overall now. Solid offensive awareness, like we were saying before. Very good shot accuracy, but the power isn't there, which is kind of funny. Danny Zhilkin up to a 70. Lundstrom up to a 76. I think that was the guy we got in that LA Kings deal, right? I think it was. He was the top 6 forward prospect I was looking for. Because I don't remember drafting him, so. Cam's developing decently, 65 at 18. Yeah, we're getting some good growth in our system. Galvas up to a 73 at 20. Probably plays in the AHL next season. Salomonson's up to a 76. Grant, our goalie, is up to a 72, so he did get a little bit of growth. How did he finish off the season? A 9-10, and then he didn't play in the playoffs, unfortunately. Yeah, I like that we're getting some growth in our system. Nilstorp doesn't seem to be developing, which kind of sucks. He's up to a 67 at 20. But there is our growth. Final thing, the contract situation. Who is up for renewal this offseason? It's mostly RFAs. We have Michelli, Velarde, Lucius. We also have Gustafsson, Kyrou, Kupari, Stankoven, who are all RFAs, also Lundmark. So the question I have to you guys is, do we sign a lot of these RFAs like long term? Or do we give them bridge deals? Like Michelli, we could do like a 5-year deal at like maybe $5 million or $6 million bucks. Guys like Velarde, does he just get qualified and then maybe take compensation for him if somebody is interested in him? Christian Fischer likely doesn't come back, but all these RFAs likely will because they're younger players, obviously. And then goalie-wise, RFA-wise, we have Dostal. He's the big one. Do we bring back Lucas Dostal as our backup? Or maybe even our starter as next year if we trade Hellebuck. So there's that. There is that. And I think that's pretty much all I want to take a look at. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to the draft and resign stage. And we'll start to begin this kind of teardown process where we get rid of the older guys. We hold on to most of our young guys. And kind of like add pieces via the draft. And kind of just put the puzzles in place to hopefully get this team back to the playoffs again in the next few years. Because I don't think we're going to make it this upcoming season. But at least we have the Stanley Cup early on. And trying to make our way back to winning another Stanley Cup seems like a fun process for this team. So let me know what you think that below. And I'll see you guys next time.